Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 1v1v1 match between Frontliner Krasz, I'm not sure how you say that, K-R-A-S-Z, Krasz, maybe, and Vurmashin, V-U-R-M-A-S-S-H-I-N. Hello. Everyone's signing in. So Krasz is Harkonnen, Frontliner is Ordos, and Vurmashin is Atreides. It's too early in the morning for me to actually play, so I'm just going to record and watch to see what these guys do today. It's a large map. It is random. It's not one of the custom ones anybody's been working on. In case you haven't been following current events, I just released version 1.1.17, much to probably the entire community's surprise. Hold on a second. I've got some G-chat. I believe I need to try and silence if possible. Anyway, like I said, I just woke up, so wasn't really, my brain's not fully operational. I would not be any good actually playing as a guy in here. So anyway, let's get to the game. Frontliner is definitely set up pretty well already. Macroing hard right off the gate. Picked his base early. Krasz didn't like any of the smaller rock that he saw, so he moved down to a larger portion there. And Vurmashin moved a fair amount in before he set up his base. So game is underway. So yeah, again, the .17 patch, I just put it out. Probably the last time I put out a patch was like 2 years ago. But I went ahead and did this one just because I've got time this month. I'm not working, and Frontliner and I decided to just play a few Dune 2 games for the heck of it, and we found that and I was also just reminded that there were a couple of bugs laying around in there that were not necessarily that difficult to fix, but caused some serious problems. One of those was the death hand wasn't working properly anymore, basically at all. People couldn't really figure out what was wrong, but the actual problem with it was that whatever distance you chose, the missile always went twice that far. So if anybody figured that out and learned how to actually use them anyway, then kudos to them. But that was an issue. And another issue was the ability to keep spamming buildings. When a building got destroyed, you could just drop another one right on top of it. That was supposed to have been resolved a long time ago by the inclusion of the idea of rubble. I put that in quite some time ago. The whole idea was to prevent that situation for approximately like 15 seconds or something. I don't remember the actual time, but after a building gets destroyed, it just takes away for the rubble to be takes a little while for the rubble to be cleared away. So Frontliner going extremely macro heavy, and I assume he's going to be jumping up to an HTF very shortly to get some carry-alls, because we are already 3.5 minutes in, and it won't be too long before Wurmsign happens. That's got to be an HTF, and he definitely needs to get some aircraft out there to support his harvesters. Krasz and Vurmashin are both starting a little bit slower, although Vurmashin looks a little better in this case. Everybody looks pretty good though. We got 4 refineries, 5 refineries down there, and waiting on the HTF. He's already got the HTF and an LDF, and he does have a carry-all already. Vurmashin does not have a carry-all, so yeah, it's kind of an even race. Every player is choosing a bit different process. Interesting to see that everyone is putting down concrete before putting down their buildings, so that really does seem to be a real effect that people notice, that amount of money that you lose when you build buildings on top of just bare rock without a foundation. So that's good. Glad to see that. Because in reality, you really shouldn't want to have to put down a building on bare rock, except out of extreme necessity or in all haste for some reason. Doing some scouting. He should have seen, Frontliner should have seen those 2 harvesters now. He should have some idea where they are. But I think he didn't pass quite close enough to Krasz's base to see where he was. He's continuing to scout and move around. There's a little combat going on. That was probably a raider trike from Frontliner that came in from the other direction and got shot by the con yard. So what's going on here? We have some quads. Yep. That raider's not going to go anywhere. Bam. Dead. And that one's going to die too if Frontliner's not careful. Oh, very close. He's not really watching though. He's just got him on patrol. He is not macroing. Harkonnen's going heavy quads right out the gate. A couple coming up here to test the defenses of Frontliner. They're actually going to be able to do some damage unless Frontliner has any kind of an answer. Would be good. Alright, I don't know why he's attacking the outposts as opposed to something else. He just had him retreat. Probably a good plan. Frontliner already got a tank out. What's going on here? What's that? There's a raider trike dancing, dodging some shots. That won't work forever. But it's pretty funny. It's probably a good spot. Anything else interesting going on? Doesn't look like it. Alright. So Vurmashin, what is he building there? Is that a starport? No, he's building palace, so he's taking right up to Sonic tanks. Alright. At least that's what I assume is going on. Well, no, he doesn't have an X, so he's not going for Sonics. But he's getting a palace, so maybe he's looking for a Corino alliance, and he's going to build Death Hands. That would be fun to see. What happened there? Somebody just demolished something. Frontliner did. Not sure why. Maybe to try and reduce his power consumption. Alright, Krasz is preparing a few little clusters of units. What's going on? Huh, I didn't even see that. Probably over here. Oh, there's some fighting going on down here in the middle. Alright. So how the Atreides doing? Vurmashin, definitely a little bit slow to get any kind of an offensive army out there, but I really hope that he's going for Death Hands now that he's got the palace. He's going to need more power for it, of course. I assume a wind trap will drop right here, most likely. Meanwhile, Frontliner is getting one of his tried and true patented tank and missile armies together. Oh, he's got a regular trike. It's always good to see the Ordos use a normal trike instead of a raider. Although I still like the raiders. Just kind of a novelty. Krasz is building up a respectable force, for sure. And I would love to see him actually do a frontline assault with the tanks and then do a flanking operation with the quads. I'd love to see that, because the way this game is designed, when people get into combat, they get kind of locked in right on the front. So if Krasz is smart about it, he'll send his tanks to get locked in the front, and then not involve his quads in the initial combat. He'll take them and move them around the back and attack the rocket launchers. That'll do much better for him if he decides to do so. 4 Harkonnen quads running around on their own is not even a force to be trifled with. They can do some decent damage. So Vurmashin is starting to turn out. Here comes some Sonic tanks. Alright. So that was an Ix, and he is going straight up to Sonics. I'm not sure what he allied with. We'll have to wait and find that out. I'm not sure why he put the palace down, what he made an alliance with. I don't see anybody with Death Hands yet. Both Frontliner and Vurmashin have palaces. Wow, Krasz has really got quite a force starting up here, and again, don't discount those quads. They're light, but in numbers like that, being that they're Harkonnen and can take a little more damage, they can make a serious impact on the combat. Frontliner really doesn't have that much stuff anymore. It's a nice little force. They're not arranged all that well with the rocket launchers in front, but we'll see what happens for him. And now Vurmashin is finally catching up, getting those sonic tanks out. Very important for sonic tanks is to have some kind of a defensive front line, because they really do take very little damage. They can get killed easily. So I hope Vurmashin keeps that in mind and always makes sure the tanks are up front soaking up the damage. Frontliner is testing the waters a little bit, but I do think that he is visible to Krasz in that location. And I haven't seen a sandstorm yet, so I think everyone still has full visibility. Krasz definitely got a nice force building up. Sticking some tanks up there for whatever reason, I guess. Maybe thinking of a pincer move against Frontliner if he comes in. How's everyone doing on the economy scale? Frontliner looks like he has 8, 9, 10 refineries, which is almost a little low for him. And looks like 9 for Krasz, and 11 for Vurmashin. I keep wanting to mispronounce that name, say like Vurmashin or something. Alright, overall though, this is I think we're going to see some large-scale combat. Frontliner's going a little berserk over here. Those are probably even more refineries. Probably every damn one of them. Maybe another HTF or something, I don't know. But now he's starting to macro really hard. I'm not sure why he feels quite so safe to do that. Yeah, I agree. It was smart, definitely, to get the armed harvester upgrade before he did this. So now he has some extra guns hanging around out there. But he really doesn't have enough troops at this point. Uh-oh, here comes that pincer move I was talking about. Oh, he's got deviators. Deviators are nice. But, yeah, he's got some airdrops to worry about. This is definitely not going to go well for Frontliner. He should just airlift all of his armed Harpies over here at this point. Yep. Well, you can try to retreat and see what happens. Did get a couple of tanks away, a couple of launchers away, and that's good. You're going to need a repair facility if you want to actually fix those guys up. I'm not sure what line he's retreating to, because he doesn't really have defenses set up anywhere along this area, but Krasz is not willing to test that theory and see the extent of Frontliner's defenses. I think he's a little more concerned that Frontliner has more to work with, which quite frankly I'm surprised he doesn't at this point. Vurmashin has a whole pile of sonic tanks and a whole lot of tanks and some rocket launchers. That's going to be a very strong army. I don't see anyone building up infantry here. That's always fun to see, but apparently everybody's decided to go mech this game. Krasz has a small, compact base, but it's very strong. If Krasz had wanted to, he could have moved in and killed Frontliner at that point. But he simply didn't realize how much of an advantage he had. And then I would have assumed Frontliner would just start dropping his harvesters in there to soak up some meat. Soak up some meat. Well, to act like meat shields and, you know, soak up fire. Again, I just woke up, so my jokes and my thoughts and my words are probably all going to be terrible. Okay, so here's Vurmashin moving in to take out Krasz's little peripheral construction yard. Looks like he's going to do it. Ah, nice missile shot. That did it. Krasz was not able to save it, but he is able to clean up the attack without much difficulty. Vurmashin wisely not overextending himself and tossing too much into that fight. What the heck is Frontliner doing? Normally at this point, Frontliner, I would have expected him to have a starport and to just be kind of flooding the area with units, but I'm not sure. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of heavy vehicle factories now, and he's got repair facility, and that's good. That's great, but what is he has no offensive potential. What is he working on? It's really weird. Frontliner should be absolutely rolling in money right now. What the heck is this little combat going on? Well, chasing down Krasz's MTPs. Moving a little too fast for those rocket turrets, but not for the other guns. Man. Well, he's definitely getting some intel though. Now he can see a great deal of Vurmashin's army, including all the sonic tanks, so Krasz has some good advanced knowledge. Alright, so here come... Oh geez, Krasz already has Devastators, and wow, it's gonna be tough. So what is Vurmashin doing? Looked like he was moving out. Oh, I think Vurmashin is allied with the Fremen because he has, he seems to be completely unworried about having all of his heavy vehicles move across the sand. Harvesters are always vulnerable to the worms, even when you're allied with Fremen, but the other units will be ignored, so I'm assuming that's what he's done. We shall see. Some random tank fire going on. Alright, more MTP. So Frontliner is finally building up. He's turning all those heavy vehicle factories into production. Unfortunately, he's a bit late to the game, and if Krasz wanted to move in right now, I still think he would probably be the victor. Although Vurmashin is looking quite potent here. He's only bringing in... Where did the rest of his sonic tanks go? No, I guess they're all in there. Yeah, this is going to seriously damage Frontliner's harvesting operation right there. He's not really paying attention to getting them out of there either. Uh-oh. Here comes a good fight. He's got those missiles up front. That was very silly. Now they're all going to suffer a lot of damage right off the bat. Probably get killed by the Sonics. There they go. Deviators are definitely causing some issues. These ratings. It's always fun to watch. They are good at helping to stop things, powering people down and such, but without a whole lot of offensive units to support, they're not so great. And unfortunately for Frontliner, here comes Krasz with a very strong tank force moving in. Anything else going on? Krasz is not even devoting all of his forces. Frontliner barely held off what Vurmashin sent at him. Meanwhile, he's losing a huge chunk of his base. He had no defense up there. Never mind. Alright, so Frontliner is desperately trying to make his way back to that portion of his base and try to save his palace and his power section there. But he's going to start getting dropped by Devastators when he gets too close. Now what is Krasz doing? Krasz is still withholding the majority of his force. I think he realizes that what he's got there will probably do enough damage so he doesn't have to worry too much. Alright, now the Devastators are really going to help out. The Deviators from Frontliner are really helping out here, neutralize these Devastators without them being able to do a lot more damage. So, luckily for Frontliner, that was cleaned up. However, Krasz has an even larger Devastator force in a few locations built up. Some fighting going on in the middle. Vurmashin is moving in. He has taken out whatever Vanguard force was left remaining by Frontliner and has retaken the center of the board again. I'm not sure what Krasz's next plan is. Frontliner is actually still doing okay. He does still have a large economy. He's spread out like a virus a bit, but I don't think he's as large as Vurmashin anymore. And Krasz is still kind of slow on the macro front, but he's the heaviest on the military front, I think. So I want to see those Devastators get called into play. Alright, what are we doing, guys? That's a lot of Harvesters. It's the quiet time now. Uh-oh. Sounds like a scout got killed or something. Oh no, it's the armed Harveys. No, it's not. Well, who's firing that? Somebody's shooting very slowly, like a regular tank is shooting at something. Oh well. Couldn't find it. So, massive motion here from Vurmashin. He's heading over to attack this vulnerable area of Krasz, but he's going to be in for a bit of a rude surprise if Krasz decides to come down. Ah, this is nice. Oh, he's going to airlift into the midst. Oh, right into the back. Bam! Single shotting. Rocket launchers. Bam. Wow. Nice. But the carryalls are getting shot up a little bit. Wow, that's a lot of... Alright, well, he surrounded him. Now he needs to move up and take out the rest of Vurmashin's army. What else is going on? Frontliner is moving in. So Vurmashin is trying to press his advantage and do as much damage as he can while those slow-ass Devastators try and come up and complete the surround attack, which is no longer a surround. Now it's a pursuit action back towards his own base. And this is where Devastators run into a bit of trouble when they're actually told to move with any haste. Wow. No other surprise actions moving in, just some major conflict down the middle. Aww. Now he lost that high-tech factory. Does he have enough room? Nice. Nice. Luckily for him, he had enough room in his other HTFs to land those poor errant carryalls. Alright, now Frontliner's moving in. The front, not a whole lot of stuff. Vurmashin has plenty of tanks. Deviators are doing their job. Depowering people. Giving them random orders. So Frontliner should clean up in a battle where otherwise he might not necessarily be so successful. And here's Frontliner with a whole bunch of siege tanks of his own coming in. Never forget that when you're in the Ordos, your units are faster, but a little lighter on their feet, a little easier to kill. So the Ordos should really try and make use of flanking maneuvers as much as possible. So Krasz did successfully defend most of that area of his base. There's a little harvester conflict going on for Frontliner. Frontliner is still pushing the front lines here against Vurmashin. Meanwhile, Krasz has decided to come in all the way. If the Atreides player is smart and aware of this, he will start moving his rocket tanks away because he really doesn't want to take the one-shot kills that those Devastators can offer. And being as slow as they are, there you go, get them out of there. Very good. Now, Krasz is going to do some unbelievable damage to Vurmashin from the back, while Frontliner is doing it from the front. Not good for Vurmashin. Definitely not good. But that's what a 1v1 is all about. 1v1v1, rather. Krasz, you got some Devastators not doing anything. Wow. Is that Frontliner piling those tanks in? I'm not sure. It might be. It would only make sense for him. He does have the Devastators. He's got some rocket launchers here. Vurmashin GG's. And Frontliner decides to leave. Probably probably just to keep the game going a little bit longer. Frontliner's like, dude. Looks to me like Vurmashin did pretty well, actually. I would not call him a noob. He probably did better than I would do right now. Devastator's still holding strong. Remember to stop, Krasz. Have to say this because people need to know exactly how to control the units and stuff in this game. In general, units are going to be ignoring unarmed buildings. They're not going to shoot at them when they're on attack orders. That's so they can focus fire on anybody who actually has a weapon that's dangerous to them. So I'm just trying to remind people that if you want them to start clearing out bases of unarmed buildings, then you have to put them on guard orders or stop orders. You know, Vurmashin still had a lot of stuff. It's too bad that he left. I mean, he might, you know, possibly could have kept himself alive for a while longer by building up a whole bunch of defenses, a whole bunch of cannon turrets to fight back against the Devastators, something to that effect, or rocket turrets. Get used to that. Yeah, it does seem faster, and I don't know why. I really cannot explain that. Awesome. Oh yeah. Derp. I assume that was supposed to be a destruction, self-destruct, but Frontliner is really taking the money off the board here. I hope he's got enough to... Yeah, he really doesn't. If Krasz... Oh my goodness. Yeah, if Krasz wanted to, he could take all these Devastators and just put them straight in. Holy cow, he's got a lot of them. Kind of saw that one coming. He's still got more Devastators scattered around out there too, doesn't he? He's got a few more. But that's enough, man. Kill him. Put a stop to it. End the game. Well, Krasz victorious. Did not macro as hard as some of the other players, but efficiently used military units to disrupt his opponents, and now finally sealing the deal. Wiping everything out with a flood of Devastators. That one's going to get two-shotted. Man. Man. Very nice. GG, guys. Very much GG. Building all those siege tanks, probably Frontliner's leftover queue or something. Alright, so there's a good game. Very good game. Fun to watch. Krasz just moving around. Oh, here he comes to drop right on top of Frontliner, ruin his day, kill the rest of his harvesters. And here's a sandstorm to block out everyone's vision and just make the final part of the game irritating. So, again, this is Dragbolt. I'm the creator and developer of Dune 2 The Golden Path, and hopefully you have enjoyed watching a 1v1v1 between Frontliner, Krasz, and Vurmashin. Peace out.